City Heating and Air has been proudly serving East Tennessee for over 60 years. Mike Davis here with City Heating and Air, reminding you always to dare to compare. We use only the best equipment like American Standard heating and air conditioning for your residential, new construction, or commercial needs. Honesty, dependability, and customer satisfaction has been the foundation of our business since 1961. City Heat and Air.
Dare to compare.
And thanks to City Heat and Air for adding a whole home generator to East Tennessee weather, always keeping the power on. That's the hopes anyways during inclement weather. Good morning. Happy hump day, everybody. It's Wednesday. Ed Rupp's going to be joining us this morning. So that's going to be some good stuff. We've got a big storm system that's been swinging its way into the area. Here's what it looks like on the satellite and radar right now. Heaviest rain to our south, but of course here in East Tennessee, many of you are reporting already, we're waking up with some fresh snow on the ground. So grab yourself a cup of coffee, hot cocoa, hot tea, maybe a nice light little hot breakfast if you don't have to travel out and about. Of course, the kids are going to be off school here for the day today. We're going to dive into all the details on the forecast. I have tweaked the snowfall forecast just a little bit. So you want to tune in for that. First things first, let's take it outside and show you the TDOT cameras so you can clearly see it's a snowy start to this Wednesday morning. The major interstates are just fine, by the way. The TDOT crews have been out brining the roads all day yesterday, and so everything is fine on the major interstates. Of course, the Northern Plateau, where we're getting some of the heaviest snowfall so far this morning. Beth is already, one of the winter weather watchers, has already posted photos, which I'll share here in a bit, of Scott County, where we already have snow on the ground in Scott County. And that's already creating a little bit of a mess up there. So kind of something to keep in mind if you're joining us from a location that's gotten a lot more snow. I've gotten reports also down into parts of Loudoun County and Tellico Plains getting a little bit of snow. But just realize that what you see on the ground right there, yes, it's going to pile up a little bit more, but I just don't think this is going to be a major snowstorm by any stretch of the imagination. All right, here's your future cast. You can see how this just kind of swings its way on through. Now, again, the snow's going to die down this morning, probably around 10-ish. Then just a few light snow showers where we really lose the moisture source before another shot of more snow and even colder Arctic air settles in overnight tonight. So with that said, let's go ahead and take you to the view. We do have winter storm alerts, so winter weather advisories in purple, winter storm warnings in pink. Realize that a warning is a higher priority than a winter weather advisory. But the National Weather Service has added all of East Tennessee now to that winter weather advisory. This does run through the day today and then overnight tonight. Here's the satellite and radar. You can really see the snowfall. I've got all the radars on there, so you can really see the snow coming in out of Middle Tennessee. But again, it's already starting to slowly taper off a little bit across, just a little bit further to our west. And so from now through about 10 o'clock, this is what we're going to be dealing with, and then we'll see improving conditions. So some of us, by the end of the day, may be like, where'd the snow go? We were at a snow globe this morning. Where'd the snow go? Good morning, Becky. How are you this morning? Becky says, happy hump day and happy snowy hump day, that is. Again, so this is the story here this morning. As I mentioned, the roads are doing just fine this morning. No major issues on the major interstates so far. As I mentioned, if you were with me yesterday, I actually think we're going to have bigger issues tomorrow morning than what we'll be dealing with this morning. So that's kind of something to keep in mind as we get the day started. All right, you know what day it is? It's hump day, my friends. Let's say good morning to Ed.
Wait for him. Wait for him. Bam! Now we slide all the way downhill to the weekend. The kids can get ready for school, and Debbie can take her.
All right, there we go. So let's put Mr. Ed where he belongs here this morning. Everybody say good morning to Ed. I have a cool time lapse to share with you as well. Weather app, and again, this is a live view right now from some of the cameras that I have updated across all of East Tennessee, so you can see over in Volunteer Cove Marina that we're currently seeing some snow falling around town. All right, so let's get to work with the Futurecast and talk about those tweaks that I've been talking about this morning in the model forecast. So here is your Futurecast. Okay, so this is just one model. I talk about the deterministic and the ensembles. I can only show you deterministic, but this is a high resolution 3 kilometer model. So it's got better data. It's got more grid points. More grid points, more data. Right? It's like HD TV versus the old classic 4x3. Not HD TV. So here we go. Here's our HD TV forecast, and there we go. Between 10 and noon, really, if not before that, 9 to noon, we're going to start to see the snowfall taper off. Sure, we're going to see some snow showers throughout the day today or a few flurries flying, but we really lose a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. The precipitous waters go from like half an inch down to about a quarter of an inch after lunchtime. And that's a sign that we're going to lose the moisture source. Therefore, we're just not going to have a whole lot of snow. Plus, the sun angle's up. Now, we're not going to see a lot of sun, but we have a higher sun angle because it's later in the winter season. It's during the daytime hours. We talked about this yesterday. Daytime hours and the higher sun angle will limit or mitigate snowfall totals. I think what we have for most people on the ground by noon today, 10 to noon, is probably the majority of the snow that you will see. Now, here's the other side of the story. Overnight tonight, there's another reinforced shot of colder air, and there's another disturbance swinging through. That's going to reinforce some snow showers. Now, it's going to be light. National Weather Service is talking about some of the models indicating, while this morning we have more of an 8 to 10 to 1 ratio, a heavier, thicker, wetter snow that compacts, it melts. It's hard to measure because it compacts pretty quickly. Good snowball making snow. But overnight tonight, as that Arctic air comes in, National Weather Service is talking about one of the models indicating like a 15 to 18 to 1 ratio. So that would be a super light, fluffy, what we call from Colorado, champagne powdery kind of snow. The kind of snow that you blow off your cars. Now, with the wet cars and the wet roads, you're probably not going to be able to do that. But that's going to be insult to injury, and that's what's going to lead us to, I think, additional accumulations overnight tonight, especially the northwest-facing slopes, Cumberland Mountains, the Cumberland Plateau, and the Smoky Mountains. But I do think that you folks across the mountain counties have a pretty good shot, and that's why I've changed my snowfall forecast just a little bit. So here we go. So we pick up our timeline this morning. What I want to show you is just how this is going to enhance all the way through noon. See the darker shades of blues? But then watch as we go past noon, we're not going to see much. Now, overnight tonight, watch how this enhances again. See how that enhances across the mountain counties, turns a little bit of a darker blue. So here's what I've done with the forecast for snowfall, okay? And again, I'm going about 1 to 3 across the mountain counties. And I do think that most of that's going to happen overnight tonight, which would create slick and icy roads and snow-packed roads, snow-covered roads overnight tonight. So from Maryville to Pigeon Forge, Newport, that of course is Wallen, Seymour, all the way up to Greenville, I think you have a pretty good shot for 1 to 3 inches, and then most of that's going to be probably overnight tonight. Now, the rest of us, that 2 to 3 inches for Fentress, Scott, Campbell counties, 2 to 3 plus inches, yes, you're going to get a lot this morning, and you have seen a lot. Then we're going to get some melting to occur throughout the day today, thanks to the sun angle and the warming temperatures throughout the afternoon, even though you may stay below freezing across the plateau, and we'll talk temperatures in a second. And then you'll get another reinforced shot of that snow tonight, so icier conditions. Now, I talked about that this week as well. Listen, we've had flooding and flash flooding this week. Any standing water tomorrow morning will be black ice. Here's what I want to do. I always like to show you, if you watched my forecast this morning, I did this as well. Don't concentrate on the numbers per se, okay? This is my 3-kilometer high-resolution in-house computer model. Picking up on what we've been seeing already this morning, great. Watch how this enhances through 10. But by noon, watch as we get into the afternoon, really not going to add up a whole lot. A few flurries, this, that, and the other. Probably not going to accumulate any. But this is the point I want to point out. Watch how this reinforces itself overnight tonight. Watch the mountain counties, Pigeon Forge, Newport. Look at that. See how we're going to see more snow developing early tomorrow morning across the mountain counties, and I think that's where we're going to have a bit more of an issue. So again, don't concentrate on the numbers, but again, 2 to 3 plus across the plateau. I think we're pretty solid in that forecast. It doesn't appear that we're going to get as much warming. Now, there is still a little bit of a caveat, but I think that's why the National Weather Service has added the Southern Valley to a winter weather advisory, because it's a fine line. It's a tricky forecast south of Interstate 40, basically Sweetwater south. Are we going to have any major travel concerns? No, I don't think so. Do we get a little bit of that switch over into some light rain showers across the mountain counties? Not nearly as impressive this morning as what it was the last couple of days. So maybe you end up with a little bit more snow across the mountain counties. That's why I've added the 1 to 3 there. When you look at total QPF, when we precipitate everything out of the atmosphere and it reaches the surface, whether that be in the form of rain, sleet, snow, or hail, whatever it may be, obviously we're not getting hail, and we're really not getting freezing rain either, we're looking at about 1/4 of an inch of precipitation. On top of the flooding and flash flooding that we've already had, this is just insult to injury, really. Listen, the U.S. Drought Monitor comes out tomorrow. I'll be willing to bet most of the drought's wiped clean. I bet where we have the severe drought, the extreme drought, I bet we still have probably abnormally dry conditions. That's my guess. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Of course, Stormy tomorrow. It doesn't come out until about 10 o'clock in the morning, 9 or 10. Anyways, the point of the story is here, listen, 0.26. So if you did a 10-to-1 ratio on that, you're looking at 2.6, 2.8 inches across parts of the Northern Plateau, even Knox County. Again, the general idea, I think less than 2 across the valley, 2 to 3 plus across the Northern Plateau. Okay, so this morning, 7 o'clock observations. Let me go back to that here for a second. It's cold, and you can see that colder air across the plateau. That's why it's been more efficient in producing snow-packed roads from Fentress to Northern Morgan to Scott to Campbell County. That's why we have snow-packed roads up there. Temperatures are colder. Everybody else is hovering right around the freezing mark. But as we head through the day today, which, by the way, we are trending a little bit warmer this morning than yesterday. Got that going for us. Lunchtime temperatures will be in the 20s and 30s, and we're just not going to warm up a whole lot. We're going to top out near freezing today. Higher sun angle, temperatures near freezing. Any snow this morning will start to melt away throughout the day today. This evening, probably not a whole lot of snowfall across the area, but then more snow expected overnight tonight, making for an icy start to our day tomorrow. So any standing water tomorrow is going to be in the form of black ice. Look at these morning lows. Arctic air, teens and 20s, maybe even a few single digits, not to mention wind chill values, sub-zero in some locations. And so the National Weather Service has issued a cold weather advisory. I believe this is our second one this year, maybe our third one, second one. This runs tonight through Thursday morning. And again, we're talking wind chill values probably 5 to 5 degrees below zero in some of those locations. All right, temperatures for forecast highs. We just don't warm up a whole lot. We'll stay in the 20s and 30s, so it's cold. But check out your 7-day forecast. Snow today, early morning snow tomorrow. Snow tapers off tomorrow, but we'll probably stay mostly cloudy on Thursday. I do think that we'll start to see some sunshine probably after about 2 to 3 o'clock on Thursday, but most of the day is going to be overcast and gray and cold. Maybe a few flurries as we kind of wring out the atmosphere. It's like a sponge. When Arctic air comes in, it's like a sponge. When you take a sponge, you're like, oh, the sponge is dry. And then you go and squeeze it as hard as you can. You get a couple of drips. That's what the atmosphere does with Arctic air. But a nice warming trend. We're back closer to those seasonal averages Saturday and Sunday. Next week, average weather Monday and Tuesday. And then when you look ahead per the Climate Prediction Center, we're probably trending about average for the last week of February, first week of March, probably the same. Maybe a little pocket of colder air to our north and east. Warmer air looks to probably stay off to our west. So average weather is on the way. All right, snow day. So that's why I wore the sweater today. It's a snow day, my friends. It's a snow day. Let's go to the, it's funny. It's funny when you get on social media and there's so many naysayers like, oh, I'll believe it when I see it. Well, here we are. We're here. It's snowing. But I just don't think it's going to be anything major. All right, waking up with no power. Oh, no, in East Knox County. No power in East Knox County. That's probably a good point. I don't think we've had heavy enough snow to really knock out power, so I'd be curious to see. Wonder why you don't have power this morning, but hopefully you get it back here soon, Sarah, because it is chilly, and you'll need it overnight tonight. Kimberly says, enjoy the hump days. Love the camel. Well, thanks to you, I have the camel in the studio. Kimberly sent me the camel shirt and the camel itself. So big shout out to Kimberly this morning. Which prompted the whole Ed Rupp thing, which made me reach out to Ed Rupp and say, Ed, come on. You got to join me on the show. He goes, dude, I'm not going to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning to be in your studio to do this on the show. Let's record it, and you can air it every Wednesday. So that's what we do. What's up, Aaron? How are you this morning? The kids are out of school, a little slushy in the driveway. It's not going to cause any problems. Road temperatures. Let me show you some road temperatures here this morning. Let me get some road temperatures up. Let's see. So here's road conditions and road temperatures to kind of give you an idea. Let's go there. All right, so let me get these on the map here, and then we'll pull them full for you. All right, here are your road conditions. And so again, snow-packed roads in some locations. Some locations are just seeing snow, a little bit more just wet roads across the Southern Valley. But when you look at road temperatures, this really tells the story. No wonder we have accumulating snow on the roads, on the back roads from Cumberland County to Morgan to Campbell to Scott and Fentress County, maybe even parts of Claiborne County as well. We're close to that in Anderson, Maynardville, Union, parts of Roane County as well, and temperatures hovering right around freezing across the mountain counties. So again, as the snow falls, in order to overcome the warmer ground temperatures in some locations, you have to have snowfall rates. Snowfall rates have to overtake that ground temperature in order for it to pile up, but then it starts melting underneath. But anyway, something to kind of keep in mind as you travel out and about this morning. What's up, Bobby? How are you this morning? It was coming down in Jacksboro this morning. Exit, let's see, that'd be I-75 exit 134 was snow covered. Be safe out there this morning, folks. And so, yeah, do travel safely. Even if if the roads are snow-packed, sure, it can be slick. But to be honest with you, born and raised in Denver, Colorado, grew up driving to the mountains every weekend to go skiing. You can drive better with snow-packed roads than when people start driving over it and then it becomes icy. So if it's fresh snow, it's easy to drive on, not as icy. But the more folks that travel over it, we'll get some melting, and then if temperatures are below freezing, we're going to get that refreezing on the road. So, yeah, do watch out for some icy conditions here this morning. Good morning, Debbie. How are you this morning? Snowing in White Pine, she says. You woke up to a white morning. Love it. I thought you didn't like the snow, Kimberly. You wanted the snow to go away, and you're ready for summertime. You're ready for summertime. Good morning from Morristown, says Shirley. How are you? Got Angela joining us. Cheryl says hi to Ed. We've got national holidays coming up here this morning, so stick around for that if you wanted to. Mel says it started around 4 o'clock this morning. Oh, you couldn't hear me when I switched? Oh, no. Hopefully I didn't ruin that too much. I think you're the only one that says that you couldn't hear me, maybe. Jesse says mushroom season is coming up right around the corner. Mel says she needs this mess to go away. If it wasn't on the roads, I'd be okay with it. Well, Mel, it won't last very long. You done found some chickens in the woods, did you? Roads good in Cosby so far. Headed to Gatlinburg. Deborah, if you wouldn't mind, keeping us up to date. You can post on social media on some of my social media platforms that I've already posted anyway. Snowing good in Madisonville, so a little bit heavier snow across the Southern Valley. How about driving to campus out of town? Mom of UT student here. Jenny, thanks for joining us this morning. Just fine. Just fine. The roads in Knox County are just fine. So no issues now. Now, tomorrow morning could be a little bit of an issue if we get that rebuild, depending on how far into the valley it comes. Knox County, UT, probably a little bit too far north and west. I think most of the snow is probably going to be enhanced, probably South Knoxville, Maryville, Blount County, Sevier, Cott County. So, but thanks, Jenny, for tuning in. And I'm assuming, now you're joining us on Facebook. If your son goes to UT, you know what a lot of moms and dads do and grandparents do if their kids go to school here? They download the East Tennessee Weather app. So do you have the East Tennessee Weather app, Jenny? And if you don't, go download it, because here's the deal. You can put campus right there on the East Tennessee Weather app and allow for notifications. So anytime inclement weather moves into the campus area of UT, you'll be notified wherever you live. And by the way, where are you joining us from? Glad you could join us this morning, by the way. So download the app, stay on top of your kids going to UT or any schools here in East Tennessee, even if you live from afar, from out of state. My mom actually has East Tennessee, so every time I send those push alerts, she gets the push alerts. And that's the other thing. If you're joining us from out of town and you have folks here and you want to keep East Tennessee in the East Tennessee Weather app, when I highlight just East Tennessee and send a push notification, you actually get that because you have set Knoxville as your destination. Same with if you set destinations in other locations. Say you have a beach house down across the Gulf of Mexico. You want to stay on top of the weather situation down there, put your beach house address in the East Tennessee Weather app, and anytime the National Weather Service issues a warning down by your beach house or hurricanes or anything else, you will be notified right here in East Tennessee with the East Tennessee Weather app. See, it goes above and beyond East Tennessee. It travels anywhere in the country where you travel to. And if you have GPS location services turned on, no matter where you are during the spring, summer, winter, whatever, you'll be notified at your location wherever you are in the country. So great stuff right there. Great question, Jenny. Thanks for joining us again this morning. Crystal says Bean Station has a dusting to about an inch. That's a big difference there. A dusting to an inch. All right, Justin's joining us this morning from Morristown, maybe close to an inch already in Morristown. Great. Your forecast is 2 and under. Let's keep it there. Let's see how well my forecasting is today. Eva Jane, it's snowing here in Lenore City, coming down pretty hard. We'll show you those T-Dot cameras here again for just a second because you can really see it adding up on the grassy areas. So yeah, this is the story. It's going to add up on the grassy areas. It's going to pile up in the grassy areas. Most of the major roads should be just fine. And I really think that's going to be the story throughout the day today. Actually, you know what? We'll just throw the radar on. So while I look at chat, we'll throw the radar on so you can get an idea of what's going on. I've lost my mouse. Where'd my mouse go? Well, we'll get my mouse back here soon. So we'll just go back to the chat. Let's see. Coming down to Madisonville, says Chrissy. Chrissy, thanks for joining us this morning. Is it going to snow all day, says Melanie. No, the snow's going to taper off here probably. It's already starting to taper off. Let me see something here real quick. It's already tapering off over towards Nashville, Cookeville. So we probably have another couple of hours of snow. And that's going to be about it. And then more snow overnight tonight. Yeah, are you going to get some snow showers or flurries throughout the day today? Sure. Yeah, that's going to happen. But I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. Airport should be good by Friday. Oh, yeah, airport's going to be great this morning. I haven't seen or heard of any major airport delays, so I don't think there's going to be any issues there. Kelsey, good morning. Recently downloaded your app. Enjoy your 1 minute with Witcher. Yay, big shout out to Kelsey. If you've never checked out 1 minute with Witcher, I give you everything you need to know in just 1 minute. And you can find that with your daily forecast weather update. So if you want the extended long range, really dive deep into the forecast, check out the traditional long form forecast. If you just weather on the go, 1 minute of your time, check out 1 minute with Witcher. It's right there. Morning from Mickleton, New Jersey. We'll download. Daughter goes to UT. David, thank you so much. Yeah, and if you need any help with adding those locations into your app, I will show you actually. How about I just show you right now? And then we'll get to work with the holidays. We've got important stuff to talk about, Kimberly, and then we'll get to work with the holidays. I promise you that. So let me get the East Tennessee Weather app up and running for you, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So if you open up the app, this is what you're going to see, okay? And so if you actually come here to the very top, so this is for David and what was your name? Oh, shoot. David and Jenny or anybody else. If you open up the East Tennessee Weather app right there at the top of your screen, you see that little tiny plus button. Click that little tiny plus button at the top of your screen and see if I can get it. There it is. And so I have different locations in here. I've got Tampa, Florida, because I've tested it. Here's a quick little a side note. See that little play button on the left-hand side? You would never know that's a drop-down menu. I know. It took me a while. I had to actually call the app company and be like, what is this? How do I delete things? Click on that. That drops down a window, and then you can delete a location if you don't want to have a location. But you can add a location right here. So let's just, if you live from out of town, you can actually put in your address. So you can actually type in a specific address and see all these alerts below. Keep those all checked, and then you will be notified. Another quick tip and trick, if you click the, whenever you're anywhere, forecast weather updates or anywhere in the East Tennessee weather platforms, which, by the way, there's your 1 minute with Witcher. What a goofy face that is. Click the orange TN at the top left-hand corner. Don't hit the hamburger. Hit the orange TN, and that will take you back to the homepage. And remember, I've got live weather cameras right there. Right now, you push play. It's got music to it, so you can put it up in your office building. That's a live look right now in Hardin Valley. And you can hear it playing the music. So that's what you get. Yeah, live weather cameras at any time. Now, take that off. There it is. Whew. All right, so that's how you use the East Tennessee Weather app. But of course, Kimberly's, she's ready to dance. Shall we? We'll show you those T-Dot cameras once again as we switch to your national holidays for the day today. Again, smooth sailing on the roadways here this morning. No issues. Snow's piling up in the grassy areas, rooftops, back roads, dirt roads, roads across the Cumberland Plateau that are colder and below freezing. Yeah, but no major issues here to speak of. All right, let's talk about those national holidays here for the day today. It is February 19th. Happy birthday if anybody's celebrating a birthday here today. And any events coming up, throw them on the chat. We like to highlight events, whatever that may be. Listen, we had the boat show last week and I forgot about. The boat show. These are events that I'm talking about. Let me know what's going on in your community so we can highlight it on the chat. And we'll let you know what's going on. Denise says, I have my sister in Alabama and my dad in Mississippi linked in my app. Love it. So you can stay on top of your grandparents or your parents. If you have elderly parents, you can stay on top of the weather situation with them. All right, let's move right along. It's National Arabian Horse Day. Okay, it's National Vet Girls Rise Day. Let's see what that is. That sounds like a good one. National Girls Rise Day recognizes the immense dedication of the nearly 2 million U.S. veteran women. Thank you for your service. That is amazing. I absolutely love that. Big shout out to the ladies this morning. All right, National Lash Day. Ooh. You know, my eyelashes used to be really long until I wore glasses. When I got glasses in like 8th grade, then my eyelashes kind of got trimmed down a little bit. They used to be really long. Like, my friends used to make fun of me, like, hey, Witcher, because I'd wake up if I had sick, my eyelashes would stick together. And it's National Chocolate Mint Day. Yes, I'm going to give a big shout out to that. I don't like chocolate, but if it's got mint involved, I love mint. You know, we had the Peppermint Patty Day just the other day, which goes in line with the National Chocolate Mint Day, in my personal opinion. All right, those are your national holidays for the day today. We'll take you back outside and show you those T-Dot cameras here at this hour. And again, everything's smooth sailing on the road. So we sure hope you have a great day. National holidays, we got some great photos coming in through Witcher's Pictures. How about Tom Perry? He is a Witcher weather watcher. That's a live look, not a live look. That's a photo from Powell, the Powell area. So grassy areas, rooftops, less than an inch of snow likely, less than 2 inches in some locations. That's pretty much the forecast for Powell. So again, a nice little coating of snow. I would imagine by the end of the day, a lot of this is going to compact and melt away. But Tom, I appreciate you sending that photo in. We had a cool sky last night too. This is I showed you that with the time lapse from Hardin Valley. But this is another great picture of those little mackerel skies. I love that kind of a sky. Sign of unstable air in a storm system. But that was sent in by Lindsay Reel. And if you ever want to send in a photo, you can do so easily with the East Tennessee Weather app. Just scroll to the bottom. I have a link called Witcher's Pictures. You can take a photo from your phone or from within the app, or just submit a photo that you already have on your phone. And it comes right to my weather computer so I can share images like this. This was sent in by Tina. Let's see. Tina Burich, B-U-I-R-C-H. Burich, maybe? From Jamestown. That's a beautiful sunset before the snow has moved its way on in. And now Jamestown is getting involved with some snow. They had some snowy conditions. Tom, thanks so much for that photo this morning. All right. Brenda says she loves chocolate. I mean, even Tom is dancing to the party. Party time, Tom. Jesse likes chocolate mint ice cream, mint chocolate chip ice cream. Just went out to warm up the car and snap some pics. So cold. Aaron, will you upload those to the Witcher's Pictures link? Oh, did you? Did you already? You just did. See how fast that comes through? Aaron just uploaded this, told me that she did, and this is a picture where she lives. And Aaron, let's see, this would be from, not sure if you can see it in the pic, but actively snowing. And Aaron, I don't 100% know exactly where you live, but if you could put in the chat exactly where this is, that would be great. She says mint chocolate chip ice cream is the best. I actually prefer milk chocolate. I used to really love white chocolate, but I don't like it as much as I used to. There we go. Carol says, there we go, Carol. Big shout out to Carol this morning. She says, hey, just open up my Samsung and the East Tennessee Weather app for other locations that you can select what notifications you want from 49090 zip code. Hometown, I can select lake effect. That is true. Lake effect snows up there. Freeze, and now I'm setting up other places like Nashville and North Carolina. Big shout out to Carol. That's exactly what you're supposed to do with the East Tennessee Weather app. Locations. And here's a little tip and trick. If you're going to do some spring vacations, summer vacations, whenever you're vacationing, a week leading up to your vacation, go put that location into your cell phone. I did that when I went to St. John this past summer, and I was getting notifications of excessive heat advisories or warnings every day leading up to our vacation. So it really gives you a good idea. And then the cool thing is, let me show you this one more time. The cool thing is, I'll give you another little tip and trick. Oh, I got to get that up. Let's stand by. We'll launch the app here in a second. Let me get the app up. There we go. It's coming up. Oh, there it is. All right. So a little quick tip and trick is that let's get the app on screen here. Where did the app go? I have lost. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay, let's get that on screen. So here we go. A cool little quick tip and trick. If you, I was just going to say something. What was I going to say? Oh, shoot. Oh, I know what I was going to say. When you add locations to your phone, you'll notice that up at the top you have dots. See those little 3 dots? Come down here to the temperatures. When you can slide it. So that lets you know that you have. So if you have multiple locations, it's already in there. All you have to do is slide that. And the cool thing is, watch the map change. The map changes with your location. So now that's Chicago. It's 7 degrees. Let's switch to Denver, Colorado. See how the map changes and the forecast changes. And then we'll go to Columbus, Ohio. Map changes, forecast changes. Pretty cool stuff, if I do say so myself. All right, so little tips and tricks on how to use the East Tennessee Weather app. The other thing I want to point out is if you open up your app, now it's not showing up on here because it's not updated fully on the desktop, okay? But if you open up your app right now, one thing you'll notice, and this is going to come in handy for severe weather season, when I go live for severe weather, you'll be able to see right there. Let's see if I can get that to, I don't think you're going to be able to see it. Can you? There we go. Focus. Well, it's hard to see. There it is. See how the video is playing right there at the top? Unfortunately, that was not with us this last severe weather storm, but I fixed the link. And so now when you open up the East Tennessee Weather app, Wake Up with Witcher is being broadcast right there at the top of the app. And when I do severe weather coverage, that hopefully, if it works, would be right there at the app as well. If for some reason it's not working during severe weather events this coming spring, just all you have to do is scroll down to YouTube. And if you click on YouTube, you'll be able to watch the live broadcast right there. If for some reason, then you just click on this right here, and there we go. There's the live broadcast coverage. Right, so that, again, for some reason, works, would be right there at the app as well. During severe weather, just make sure that you scroll down to the YouTube link, and that will take you to the live broadcast. Just little quick tips and tricks, because, technology works, and sometimes it doesn't work, and that's just the way life works. Anyways, Texoma Weather Lab, what's going on? He says, good morning from a frigid southwest Oklahoma. Boy, it's cold there. Feels like minus 20 with a bit of snow on the ground. Stay safe in the wintertime. Texoma Weather Lab, do you follow Mike in Tulsa? I don't know if you follow Mike in Tulsa, although you said you're from southwest Oklahoma. Probably don't follow Mike from Tulsa, but if you do, he's a great guy doing exactly what I'm doing in Oklahoma. So you might want to check him out. Let's see. Oh yeah, headed to Rocky Mount, North Carolina for summer vacation. So you'll be able to put that in your app a week leading up to it and get it updated on the forecast. So cool stuff right there, Carol. No events this weekend for me, but craft shows every weekend in March. Nice. Finally getting some snow. It's really pretty in Talbot. Got about an inch so far. Rhonda says she loves the notifications. You are a Warren, Michigan transplant. Man, cool. And Jesse's in the process of making a stool from white oak. A little crafty woodworker right there, Jesse. All right, it is 7:33. Make sure that you stay on top of the weather forecast all day long. We've shown you the pictures. We've talked about your holidays. We've really walked you through the forecast. Now, here's the deal. If you showed up late to the broadcast this morning and caught us in the middle, yes, I've kind of gone back and forth a little bit. I will send you back to the 24-hour weather channel, which gets you that forecast right away. So stay with me. As soon as this ends, you'll go right to the 24-hour channel and you'll get the latest forecast from yours truly. Check it on the daily weather forecast updates. Like, share, and subscribe to anything. Don't forget to go smash and subscribe to that YouTube button. That's a good way to stay up to date as well, because you'll get notifications from YouTube as long as you allow those when I do broadcast live and when I update the forecast. But again, I update the forecast 3 times a day: 6 a.m., noon, and 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, 7 a.m., noon, and 6 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. I like to sleep in a little bit on the weekends. Oh, man. I hope you enjoyed the snow day. I really do. No major issues, but if you got some great photos, upload them to the Witcher's Pictures link, post them to social media. Let me share those to everybody around East Tennessee so we can share your views from your eye. Thanks for joining me this morning for Wake Up with the Witcher on this good old snowy hump day. It's going to be an icy Thursday and a warmer weekend. More in your forecasts coming up right now. Have a great day.
City Heating and Air has been proudly serving East Tennessee for over 60 years. We use only the best equipment like American Standard heating and air conditioning for your residential, new construction, or commercial needs. City Heating and Air. Air compare.
Well, good morning. Happy snow day. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. Whatever day you want to call it. Grab a cup of coffee or a cup of hot cocoa or tea this morning. Kick back, relax. If you don't have to travel, don't travel this morning. Conditions will improve throughout the day today. We've got a storm system that's swinging its way on into the area. Obviously, we've been talking about this for quite some time. Snow's already been falling around East Tennessee this morning, and that's going to be the story. Now, again, it'll probably last through about 10 o'clock this morning. Then we'll see improving conditions. So I think the most tough travel conditions in some areas will be first thing this morning, and then we'll start to see things improve as we head through the day before another reinforced shot of even more snow expected overnight tonight. And I actually think, and I've said this yesterday and the day before, I think you folks across the mountain counties will actually get more snow overnight tonight than what you will get throughout much of the day today. Cold high pressure builds in back behind the system, and we'll start to see improving weather conditions. Let's go ahead and get to work with the forecast here across the area. As we look ahead, we do have big impacts. We have winter storm warnings and also winter weather advisories painted across much of our region. Here in East Tennessee, we've been upgraded. The National Weather Service has added all of East Tennessee to the winter weather advisory. So they've now added the Southern Valley, so south of Sweetwater, Athens, Dayton, Soddy Daisy, Cleveland, and Chattanooga. So everybody's under a winter weather advisory except for Fentress County under a winter storm warning. Here's what it looks like. Visible satellite and radar. Obviously, we don't have the satellite on there because the sun is down as of this recording, but you can see the snow really filling in across the area. A little bit of mixing down across the Southern Valley, maybe some sleet and a little bit of light rain with the initial onset of this precipitation. The atmosphere is really dry. It took a while for it to overcome. This is the story this morning, but watch this. By noon, quickly improving conditions. And then as we get into the afternoon, still a few scattered light snow showers, but we're really going to lose a lot of that moisture source as we get past about 10 to noon today. So I don't think whatever snowfall we have later on this afternoon will be on the light side. However, overnight tonight, another reinforced shot of some light snow, another little piece of energy moving its way on through. Some lingering snow showers for the first part of our Thursday, and in improving conditions, albeit cold, breezy, with a strong northwesterly flow ushering in that colder air. Let's talk snowfall totals here for a second. We pick up our timeline at 7 o'clock this morning. And again, as we run you through the day today, you'll see how upper East Tennessee, the Tennessee-Kentucky border, a little bit darker shaded blue areas are going to be seeing the majority of the snow. Lesser amounts across the mountain counties, but hold on a second. This takes us through 7 o'clock tonight. Remember, I said this yesterday, we're going to get colder air moving in after sundown. That produces very efficient snow producers. It wrings out the atmosphere, and another disturbance on the way. So watch this, 7 o'clock here tonight through the overnight hours. You'll see how this is just going to continue to enhance itself as more snow showers come in overnight tonight, a little bit more across the Cumberland Plateau, more across the mountain counties and the foothills. I think that's the story through the first part of our Thursday, and then we'll see the snow machine kind of die down Thursday afternoon. So let me explain snowfall totals. I've added a few to the mix there. 1 to 3 from northern Cumberland County, 2 to 3 plus across parts of Fentress, northern Scott, Campbell County, parts of maybe northern Anderson County around the Cumberland Mountains anyways. 2 to 4 plus across the highest peaks of the Smokies, some models indicating upwards of 6 inches. And again, most of that's going to be overnight tonight and through the first part of our day on Thursday. And I've added 1 to 3 across the foothills. Now, here's the caveat. Again, that's not going to be through the day today necessarily for you folks in Maryville, Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, Newport, Greenville. I think that's going to be overnight tonight, which would create even icier conditions as we get started on our Thursday morning. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. This is my in-house model. This is a 3 kilometer, so high resolution, which is good because it picks up a lot more data points anyways. Now, again, don't mind the numbers. I've already given you my official snowfall forecast. This is what I'm going with an official snowfall forecast. Again, 2 to 3 across the northern parts, 2 to 4 plus across the mountains. Generally speaking, less than 2 inches across the valley locations. So again, let me just highlight this. Don't concentrate on the numbers, but I wanted to prove a point here. Pick up our timeline 6 o'clock this morning. Again, we've had some decent snow across parts of Scott and Fentress and northern Morgan and Cumberland County. This is all going to feed on into the area by noon. Watch this. Afternoon, we just don't see a whole lot more. But then watch this again overnight tonight, that reinforced shot of snow. And this is what I'm talking about. A little bit of snow is going to be developing across the foothills and mountain counties as we get into our Thursday morning. That's when I think we're going to have more of an issue across the area. Temperatures are going to be colder, and so more icy conditions tomorrow morning than this morning. A little bit of rain possible across the mountain counties if we get some of that downsloping winds. Generally speaking, total precipitation as we precipitated all out of the atmosphere, whether that be in the form of snow, sleet, and or rain. We're talking about 1/4 of an inch or so. So these numbers have come down a little bit. And if this is true, then that means snowfall totals come down a little bit. That's why I start low and slow, so I don't have to come up, or I go up and then I come back down. I've pretty much stayed pretty steady on my snowfall forecast so far. Look at these morning low temperatures. This is 5 o'clock in the morning. Again, we definitely have a colder start to the day where we've got some teens and 20s across the area. Lunchtime temperatures are only going to be in the 20s and 30s, so fairly steady temperatures. We're not going to fluctuate. We're not going to warm up a whole lot today with afternoon highs in the 20s and 30s. This evening, we're going to stay right there in the 20s and 30s through about 8 o'clock here tonight. Colder air comes racing on in. Morning lows dip down into the teens and 20s. So brutally cold to get our Thursday morning started. And that's why we also are going to see more efficient snow producers overnight tonight. Plus, the National Weather Service has issued a cold weather advisory tonight through Thursday morning. We're talking about wind chill values 5 degrees below zero. It's going to be incredibly cold. Now, forecast high temperatures tomorrow, chilly, snow on the ground for some locations, and we only make it into the 20s. So here's your 7-day forecast. Average temperature, we're cutting East Tennessee in the middle. Listen, East Tennessee is a big area. Cannot possibly cover all the 7 days. You can find out more online or, of course, with the East Tennessee Weather app. I do update that there. But when you look at your 7-day forecast, we're going to see those temperatures come down on Thursday. We'll climb back up on Friday, and then more seasonable weather starts to work our way as we get into the end of the weekend and the start of next week. So again, don't forget to track the snow. Listen, you can check out live weather cameras with the East Tennessee Weather app online at eastTNweather.com or on YouTube. I do snowfall forecasts and weather updates 3 times a day. There's just a wealth of weather information right there at your fingertips. Download the East Tennessee, see if I can get my words out. Download the East Tennessee Weather app today. How about that? Have a great day. Plan your day with the East Tennessee Weather app. From video forecast weather updates to an interactive radar giving you past, current, and future radar of 2 hours to day parts, 7 days, current conditions, access to the only 24-hour weather channel right here in East Tennessee, live weather cameras, and severe weather alerts from the National Weather Service. Download the app today to always stay in the know. This is East Tennessee Weather. Weather when you want it.